We started recording it already?
Yes, the record button is on.
Awesome. All right. So I'm just going to start off with some super basics. First off, I want to point out that we have recently changed over to just a company-wide key. So if anyone hasn't switched over to that yet, all you need to do is go to Change License Key in the menu. And if you don't have the new license key, we can definitely send that over, and you enter it and click OK, and you should be on that new key. We will be stopping the old keys sometime today or tomorrow, so make sure you get onto the new one. And then every once in a while, we of course do updates to the application. So if you ever need to check for an update, go to the menu here. Right now, I have no updates available. If you're not sure if you have the update or not, you can always go to the About, and it will show you the version number right here, if you can see that. And then if you watch this video and you still need help, just go to this Help tab right here, and it will open up the entire user guide, and you can take a look at how to use the application. All right, jumping into the fun things. This is the main catalog view, and it can support up to 25 cameras. And it shows, if you see on the left side here, that is the collected time of the image. And then on the right, you'll have the viewpoint. And then you can see that these ones show north, south, east, and west. So these cameras specifically tend to move quite a bit. They're pan, tilt, zoom cameras, so they're showing multiple here. In the middle, if you want to change this featured camera, just go and click on a different one, and it will switch. And right now, I only have streaming turned on for this middle inset, but if you want to see streaming for all of the smaller insets, you go to the menu and select Stream All Insets. Sometimes it's a bit slow when we do screen sharing, so forgive me if it's a bit jaggedy. And you can turn that off again just by going back into the menu. If you're, for example, looking at a specific roadway and you put the cameras in the wrong order, you can always change the order of the cameras by simply clicking, dragging, and dropping, and it will rearrange the order. And you can put it anywhere you'd like. And if you right-click on any of these small insets, you can delete a camera, you can undock a camera, or you can rename it. So this will give you the option to name it whatever you like. And if you go ahead and you undock it, and pull the camera out like this. You can also undock by dragging the image to the edge of the screen, and it will get bigger if I can drag that over.
It works a bit better if you have if you have a bunch of screens at your workstation. You can drag the cameras off the screen quite easily.
If you don't, it's better to just drag it to the left like that. And then you can do the same with the large inset. You right click and you undock, or you can just drag it straight from the middle.
Jolene, can I jump in real quick?
Definitely.
I found that you can undock as many images as you'd like. So, like, let's say you work in an environment like, like KNX, the Traffic Operations Center, or even Philadelphia, where we have overhead monitors that sort of hang over where the producer collects all the info. You can undock a couple of images of areas that are real problematic and drag them over to the big screen, so reporters can come out and take a look, or have them just on your desktop monitors in front of you.
Exactly. And you can maximize them if you'd like, or you can just resize them to whichever size you'd like. And then a fairly new feature that we have is that whichever screen that you drag the camera onto, you can then auto-arrange the undocked camera windows on that screen. So if I auto-arrange, it'll take the 6 cameras that I have undocked and arrange them nicely for me. So instead of manually doing that myself, I can kind of create a custom-sized video wall. Okay, I'll just close all of those down really quick. And then also, if you have lots of screens, say up on the wall, you can also have multiple video walls open at one time. So you could have multiple catalogs, or maybe one map view, a couple catalog views. It's really up to you.
How do you get the monitors, or how do you get the images onto the video wall?
How do we get the images into this catalog?
Yes.
Going over that very soon. So before I show you that, I just want to go over very quickly kind of what a catalog group is and what a catalog is. So down at the bottom, we have what are called catalog groups. Right now I have the Philadelphia DMA catalog group, and within that I've created a few different catalogs, so North Delaware, I-295, etc. And then you can move to the different catalogs by going into this catalog group and selecting the next catalog. Another way you can do that is using these arrows to move back and forth. So when you click these arrows, they will simply move you through the currently selected catalog group. Another way to go through these different catalogs is going to the automatically cycle through catalogs option, and you can set it for every 30 seconds, every minute, or every 2 minutes. So if I select this, and if I were to wait 30 seconds, it would then move on to the next catalog within this catalog group. So it would jump from the I-476 to North Delaware, and then down to I-295. Every 30 seconds, it will move. And then if I'd like to, I can also say I want it to automatically cycle through catalogs every 30 seconds, but I also want it to cycle through all those different catalog groups. So when I select that, after 30 seconds, it will go from the I-476, and then it will move to the next catalog group. So it will move to this one I've created called Soul. And then once that's over, it'll start at the very beginning again. So North Delaware, I-295, I-476, etc. And it will keep going until you tell it to stop. All right.
If we added that feature at the request of Entercom, I think Tony in New York liked that idea, so we thought it was pretty cool, and we added it in there.
All right. And then another thing that you can do is you can show the full camera image. So typically what we do is we have an algorithm that determines the most important area of interest, and it saves on screen real estate. But if you click this, you can see the full image that's supplied by the DOT, if you so wish. You can see the cropping that we've done there. And then I'm going to pop over. You don't have coverage here, of course, but I wanted to show you what we do when it's nighttime or you have very dark images. An option that you can select is you can perform image enhancement. If you watch closely, you'll see the images start to be enhanced, and it will help view what's happening on the roadway at nighttime. And of course, you can turn it off by just going back into the menu. All right, I'm going to switch to the map view. And if you're in the catalog view, you go to the right-hand corner and click on the small map inset, and this will take you to the map. So it works like most other mapping applications. If you want to zoom out, you can scroll with your mouse, or you can press the zoom out button, same for scrolling back in, and just pan across the screen. And then these icons here, they show you all the different markets. So if you hover over them, you can see what the market's name is. So right here we have New York, for example, and if you click on it, it will take you down into that market. And then another way that you can search for a market is using these region and sources menus. So if you go to the regions tab right here, right now I have worldwide coverage turned on, but you would only have the United States. So you wouldn't have to scroll down here. You can go into the United States and you can find. Let's go to, you can go back to there. So there we went back to Philadelphia. It will move us over there. And then when you're in the map view, if you want to preview a camera image, you can find the camera you want by hovering over to see the name. Click it, and then you can preview the camera image. All right, let's jump somewhere else. Let's go over to Chicago here. I want to show you something that's fairly new. So if anyone hasn't heard of them before, we have something called hotspot cameras. So you can tell that they're hotspot cameras if they have this little driving wheel, if you can see that through the screen. And these are taken from on-vehicle cameras, so dash cameras on fleet vehicles. So they're in some markets. There tends to be quite a few in Chicago, which is great.
Hey.
All right. And then you might have seen when we were over in Philadelphia, but if there is a streaming camera available, it will have the little play sign instead of this. Yeah, so you can see one right there. It has a little play sign. So that means it's streaming. But when you click on it in the map view, you will only see a JPEG. See the stream by dragging it down into the catalog, which I'll show you in a second. All right. So if we want to create a new catalog group, we can go, let's call this Chicago. And then within that, you can then create a catalog. Let's just call this for now. I'm sure you can create more imaginative names than I can. And then to create a catalog, as you saw before, what you can do, there's a couple different ways to do this. So you can drag and drop the camera icon. Or what you can do is you can open up the camera, so preview it, and you decide, okay, there's 4 cameras here, or this is what we call a coincident camera. So we have 4 different views at the same point in the road. So you decide, I only really need this one, so you can drag the image, and it will only add that one camera. But if you were to drag this entire icon, then it would put all 4 of the cameras in your catalog. And then another way that you can very quickly create a catalog, so say there's an incident going on and you know it's the general area and you really want to see images fast, you can right-click on the map, generate a catalog of nearby cameras, and then choose the catalog group you would like to create that in. So Chicago. And then that will automatically populate from the closest 25 cameras. If you're zoomed in very far and maybe there's only 10 cameras in your view, it will, when you right-click to add them, if there's only 10 cameras in your view, then it will only add 10 cameras to the catalog. And then you can move back to the catalog by, of course, clicking at the right. And when you first create a catalog, there will be no image in the middle, so you simply select the one that you would like. Let's go back to the map again. So if for some reason cameras are out of service and you need to start creating catalog groups while they're out of service, something that may work quite well for you is showing out of service cameras on the map. So if I select that, and you'll see some more cameras start to populate because a few cameras are currently out of service in Chicago, which we are working on if there's anyone in Chicago right now. And then you can turn that back off. And you can see the cameras that are only in service. Right. One more thing. For the hotspot cameras that I pointed out earlier, if we try to drag them into a catalog, it will not work. So here is a hotspot camera. I want to drag it over and drop it, but it tells me hotspot cameras cannot be dragged into a catalog. So right now, the only way that you can put this into a catalog is through that right click and auto generation of a catalog. And then if you want to lock a camera from this map view, what you can do is similar to when you were in the catalog view, drag it out, and you can view those images. You know, open this up, drag the image out, and undock it. So you can do that either from the image here or using the entire icon. So if I drag out this icon, which has 4 coincident cameras, it will actually undock all 4, as you can see here. All right, I think we're almost near the end. If you've created some great catalogs, then what you can do, and if you want to share them with a colleague, you can export the catalog group. So say I want to export the Chicago catalog group that I've just created. You can then save it wherever you'd like to do this, send it to a colleague or and so if your colleague has shared a catalog group with you, you can choose to import that catalog group. And then if I had something saved, I could then import it.
That's a great function.
It is.
Because we have situations where in some markets we cover off on other markets. Most notably, I think in Dallas, where we were doing Charlotte for a little while, to be able to just take their catalog and kind of plug it into our software in Dallas to be able to view Charlotte cameras real quick and easy. I like that.
Yeah. And then also, if someone has gone in and renamed any of these cameras, then when you export it and then someone else imports it, if you have renamed the cameras, then you can get those names that your colleague has called these cameras.
Or optionally, you can not get them too.
Yes.
These camera networks that we have, are they, do they show rapid transit systems like light rail, commuter rail, streetcar, anything, bus, anything like that?
Only incidentally. We don't specifically integrate any transit system cameras unless they're facing a roadway. So all the cameras in our network are pointed at a roadway. So if it's a camera just on a rail line, for example, it's not something we would integrate.
Thank you.
One more quick thing to note, if you have lots of images undocked and you're on a specific catalog and you close the desktop video wall, when you reopen it, it will open exactly as it was. So if you had cameras undocked, it will open those again for you. It will open to the same catalog that you were on, etc. And I can't remember if I didn't go over it before. I'm just seeing that this is called New Catalog. If you want to rename a catalog, you can right-click and choose to rename it. And then if I decide I would like this to come before the North catalog, then I can move it up and move it down, whatever you like. And if you decide you don't like it at all, you can just go and delete it.
I'm in a webinar. Oh gosh, I just shot. That's what
All right. Are there any questions from anybody?
I have a question. If I use the picture, the image on our Twitter feed for KNX in Los Angeles, what's the attribution that I use for the image?
Okay.
That's fair. We're working on a feature that will automatically provide that. But for now, it would just be copyright Caltrans.
Yeah.
But we can, if anyone has we can email out all the specific ones. Unfortunately, there's not a way to get it automatically from the application right now, but that is on our
to-do list.
Yeah, our list of next features that you can automatically export with the copyright notice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great. Okay.
Yeah, if anyone needs those copyright notices, just feel free, shoot me an email for which ones you'd like, and I can send them all to you.
Yeah.
When in doubt, it's just image copyright symbol and then the name of the transportation department.
Okay.
Yeah, part of the motivation for that question is because in LA, a lot of the Caltrans images are not, they don't contain the logo on the image themselves. And so that's where that question comes from. But in many markets, they do.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we actually add those. We superimpose them onto the image, and some DOTs don't want us to, so we don't do it there. But most do want us to do that. So most of the images will have the logo.
Yeah. What you could potentially be seeing is if it's an on-vehicle camera, like this one right here, that the on-vehicle camera, if it's one of these, it will not have a logo. So that's not coming from Caltrans.
It's actually coming from us.
Yeah.
In which case, say image copyright Vision and partners.
Okay, so the cameras that are in the vehicles, then we do add Vision.
Just for the on-vehicle ones, just for the dash cam viewpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, great.
So those are just the ones with this steering wheel right here in the corner. But if you do notice any regular cameras, so like the one without any steering wheel, and if they don't have a logo, definitely let me know, and we can fix that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the team? So I have a question regarding the the in-dash vehicle image. That's a network that you're continuously growing. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, the number of vehicles we can connect into is growing about 6% a month, which is nice. It's not massive, but we are working on acquiring some more partners in that space. In which case, it'll be a large jump in growth. I just don't want to make any promises because it's sort of a new thing no one else has done before. So it's a little slow sometimes to add new partners, but it's definitely something we're working very, very hard on. And we're also rolling out, so there's two parts. So the first part is getting into the actual cameras through our partners, and then the second part is adding more hotspots, basically collection points to get an image from these cameras. And that's something that we are adding a new market every couple weeks. I think we're in the top 40 markets right now.
Pretty exciting.
It is very exciting.
We like to think so, yeah.
I think they definitely have some value for us in that if there is a major incident that one of these trucks is stuck in, kind of gives us a way to put some eyes on it.
Hmm.
They seem to be particularly good for seeing which lanes are full and which ones aren't, because the viewpoint's quite good on the truck. They're mounted quite high, usually like 10 plus feet from the road surface, and also quite good for surface conditions. So seeing if there's water on the roadway or snow or ice.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's terrific. I'm really looking forward to using this.
And just for the folks on the call from Entercom, if you don't already have access to the Vizzion software, I'm going to be reaching out to your market engineers to orchestrate an install. This is software that you have to install. It's not web-based, and it might require some technical assistance in order to get that done. For instance, in Detroit, you can't just arbitrarily download software onto any machine. You've got to go through IT, and it's got to get whitelisted so that it can do it. But I'll take that effort on. Are there any other questions from the team?
No, just thank you so much for this presentation. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to use this before the end of the week.
You're welcome. And if you have any questions about anything, always feel free to shoot an email out.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. What is the support email should folks have issues that they would like addressed?
It would be fastest if you go through support@vizzion.com, and then that will come to me and Keith and some other members on our team.
It's always a better idea than emailing any individual person, because just in case they're out of the office that day, but the support email gets pretty widely distributed, so we can get back to you nice and quick.
Support@vizzion.com.
Vizzion.com.
Vizzion. Thank you.
And then, like I showed at the beginning of the call, I'll just show again really quick. If you want to check any documentation, you can always go to the help in the menu, and then this will open up our documentation, and you can go through. So if you want to,
and there's our email
right
listed
here
at the bottom of that main page as well.
I have a question.
definitely.
Yeah. Are you folks reached into the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia markets yet through Entercom?
Yeah, we serve the Philadelphia markets, KYW. I'm not sure if we serve the Pittsburgh markets. Off the top of my head, I can't recall.
We are. We're in Pittsburgh with this software. It's just a matter of getting to your engineer and getting it set up. In Pittsburgh, it's kind of a unique situation. Some of the reports, in fact, I think during the morning drive, all the reports occur from the PennDOT traffic management facility.
Well, the AM.
The AM, yeah.
because I am the FM reporter. So.
Okay. And the good thing about this software is that we can install it on multiple machines. So we can install it at PennDOT, and then yes, we can install it at the Buzz or KDKA FM or wherever it is that you broadcast from.
Okay. Yeah, I broadcast from the Green Tree facility here, which covers all FM stations. So. Yeah.
So there's no problem of having multiple instances installed and in use at the same time.
Will I have access to all of the cameras that PennDOT has, or just the ones that are on their 511 page?
It should be, I believe we have access to all of them, but if you see a discrepancy, do let us know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Patty. I'm in New Orleans. We don't actually have the software yet, but I understand we're going to be getting it. And I just have a quick question. Like, once we get the software installed, are we going to go through another little tutorial like this to remind us how to use it?
Abe's recording this one, so you'll have access to that. But we're always happy to do this again for any of the markets that need some help.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, Patty. Happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions?
All right.
Yes,
well,
I covered it.
Yeah, I do appreciate your time today, Keith and Jolene. Very relieved I was able to get this screen sharing sorted out, but it was a terrific presentation. We're very excited to begin using this in markets where we haven't started using this, and it's going to be up to me now to just get it configured with the various markets through their engineering department. So that's going to be the next task on our list.
Sounds good. Let us know if there's any other questions after the call or anything. Happy to help.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, team. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.